Welcome to the last segment of this news review segment. With me today is Senator John Lonyangapuo of West Pokot, aspiring to be governor of that region. Mheshimiwa Jonathan Mweke, Deputy Governor Nairobi, who insists he still wants to serve Nairobi in that capacity. And of course, Mheshimiwa Mudomi Njuki, Member of Parliament for Chuka Iga Mang'ombe, who now wants to go a step higher and become the governor for Tharaka Nithi County. Mheshimiwa Mudomi, some time back, Jubilee said they are coming into one political dispensation, and everybody else who believes in their ideologies has to fold and join them. How so then that you accept KANU independently?
Definitely we have misgivings and fears that are surrounding the process of nominations that have made some people bold early enough.
In Jubilee?
Yes. And like it or not, it's sometimes good to be realistic. As much as we want to have one party, so that we do not have segmented numbers in the National Assembly, in the Senate, because that has been the biggest problem, where later you have to bring the small parties to form a post-election coalition. There are real fears that are surrounding nominations. And therefore, as much as we want to say one party, we have other friendly parties that are really have numbers out there. And
do the fears prevail even when you entrust IEBC with your nomination process?
You know, it's not only about nominations as per se. There's also the issue of influence. There are people who feel that I cannot fold my party, like the KANU, which is Baba na Mama, to go and join William Ruto's party, because that the way they would like to look at it as per se. But again, we have to look very keenly as Jubilee, and I'm not speaking as authority in Jubilee. I am speaking for myself, and of my own opinion, not really for myself, but my opinion is that there are parties that are friendly to Jubilee that have numbers, and the presidency must still look for a way of working with them. Otherwise, we still be having a serious problem up there on the top, because we still need them.
So do everything, get the presidency. Jonathan, what do you take of this new formed marriage and the issues that are now coming up?
I think, Charles, it's important to note that KANU did not support Jubilee in 2013 elections. KANU formed a coalition with the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, UDF, and they were called the Amani Coalition. So the deputy president was able to deliver a very, very big chunk of Rift Valley, apart of course from the
KANU region,
everything, yes, to Jubilee, and he did that successfully, and that is why they are where they are. With this new development, I think the person who has a lot to worry about is the deputy president.
Why so?
I'll tell you why. KANU is saying we're in Rift Valley. We showed even when there was a Jubilee wave in Rift Valley, KANU was still able to take West Pokot, Gideon was still able to become a senator for Baringo and get other seats within Rift Valley, when they were not with Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. Now they are. And they're saying very clearly that we are supporting Uhuru Kenyatta directly and not through the deputy president. That's how coalitions work. I agree with Professor, the leader remains the leader, and you vote for the leader. But why you form coalitions is because the leader understands I cannot get these votes without a partner. So he'll get those votes through that partner. KANU in the Rift Valley is saying very clearly, we are not coming through the deputy president. We are coming directly to Uhuru Kenyatta. That's one reason to worry. The second reason to worry is there is Isaac Ruto, the governor of Bomet, who's from the south. The south also has a very big number of votes. You've seen the former Inspector General Kimayo, now is in Marakwet area. So there's a lot of people who are saying now directly that we are going to go for Uhuru Kenyatta, not through the deputy president. So now you're looking at, you're losing the Baringo and some of the Nandis and Marakwets up there. You come down to the South Rift where there's the Kipsigis. You have Nick Salat, who's influential. You have the Bomet governor, who's now saying also, I'm not supporting you guys anymore. He was supporting you last time. Then now you go to the South Rift. You have the Maasais. You see, the Maasais now have already moved. Most of them are defective into ODM. And then, now outside of the Jubilee coalition, there is NASA. And I'm telling you, I was at 64 Stadium on Saturday at that NASA rally. And CORD was in 64 Stadium in 2012-2013. The 64 Stadium in Eldoret we saw on Saturday is very different from the one we saw 5 years ago. So you find a deputy president who's supposed to be bringing this much package to the top, all of a sudden is losing a lot of them. Last but not least, on Friday, it was reported in one of the dailies, some Moranga businessmen in Moranga, I don't know why they didn't come to Nairobi, but in Moranga, endorsed Peter Kenneth for governor of Nairobi. And as they were finishing their statement on endorsement, they said very clearly, a message to the deputy president, where they said, we are supporting Peter Kenneth now. We don't owe you any debt as people from Moranga. And once Uhuru finishes his second term, we are going to renegotiate. So now even the kurudisha mkono is a problem. So I think the worried person to be here is one Deputy President William.
I need to understand from you, Professor. In 2013, KANU was in a coalition with ANC or with UDF to form the Amani National Coalition. How come then that West Pokot under KANU voted for Uhuru Kenyatta and not Musalia Mudavadi?
Let me tell you.
Was it a coalition on top of the table and under the table?
We have officials of any party. So by the fact that you see a Secretary General or a chairman of a party associating with another candidate of a different party does not necessarily give you a conclusion that the other KANU or the other officials or the other supporters of that party may go that direction, especially when there is no consultation. So for that reason, a few people went with Mudavadi. But the majority of KANU decided to remain with Uhuru Kenyatta. But finally, we ended up now marching again through a post-election agreement, where we are now there. Whether they came, a few came through Mudavadi, but the majority of the membership, including myself as a team leader of West Pokot, we went direct and we engaged direct. I want to tell you, let's not plant seeds of discord in Rift Valley. Let the Deputy President William Ruto bring as much votes as possible through Jubilee Party of Kenya to President.
When you say let's not plant seeds, who
yes,
is planting
you
seeds?
people who are not from Rift Valley, I can already see you want to bring division between Gideon Moi and William Ruto, Isaac Ruto and myself. No, this is a house of brothers who are competing to bring as much attention and seek attention for themselves. Wait for after 2018. So don't begin to isolate and make sure after this election. How do you know we'll not rally behind William Ruto?
Mheshimiwa, do you know Aaron Cheruyot?
I know, I know the young man.
He's
wait
a
a
senator
minute.
in Kericho.
Yes.
And Kericho is in Rift Valley.
Yes, but
Now, hear this.
Yeah.
Kericho Senator Aaron Cheruyot said Mr. Moi was not sincere in his decision to support President Kenyatta's re-election and warned him against belittling the deputy president. Is that people from outside Rift Valley?
yes, let me tell you this. And that's where we are suffering from in Rift Valley. We have new young parliamentarians, MPs and senators who forgot the reason why they were elected and began to become complete and excessive psychopaths to the extent that they can think, they talk before they think. So, and I'm very sorry to say this categorically, because even the perceived division and rivalry between ourselves and William Ruto is because of young men such as this one, who come to my county fighting myself we have been sent by the deputy, we have been sent by this. So those are the type of things we are saying. This time round, we are seeking to ask the people of Rift Valley, give us mature people who will speak and defend the community and defend their leaders.
So who are you blaming? People from inside Rift Valley or people from outside?
You people, I mean, so I'm saying, when that's why, you know, I'm saying people from outside, don't add some fuel or don't begin to look like you're bringing a division among ourselves. When you see us talking, we are talking, I mean, because, and we mean well, when everybody's up there. We are also going today, we will be meeting Isaac Ruto. We have a function in Narok. Who told you Narok is is coded the way you are thinking.
It's NASWAD completely.
You will be shocked. Just wait, because we know what is happening. You know, but the fact that people are a bit frustrated, there is something that might have given that frustration, and we are trying to see how we can read one another and talk to one another. And the deputy president is aware that we must sit and talk. And that doesn't mean that I have to follow my party. It's indeed, the other day when my colleague Senator Graitu Murungi was wondering, maybe the decision we took by folding our parties was not right. Isn't it?
Is that true?
Yes. So for that reason,
yeah, because he folded. He's part of the team that folded their houses.
I will not speak for Graitu, and I'm not sure he said that, because he's totally in Jubilee. It may have been a way of whipping emotions and trying to really get support from the people of Mount Kenya region to support Jubilee. But I want, as we conclude, tell my friend Mweke that numbers he saw in 64 Stadium are not NASA votes.
There was
I want you to look at the numbers
full to the brim
on the morning of 9th of August 2017 to really know whether those numbers were for NASA or not, because we have to come and listen to what you're telling us.
Which votes are they?
And how come they didn't come in 2012? Because we were in the same stadium in 2012. We could hardly feel that stadium.
Because they are now more enlightened. Now they want to hear what you have to say. All right? But there's not translate to vote. If that's the way you normally campaign, then I'm very sorry for you.
Let me tell you, on Uganda streets, all the way through the town, it came to a standstill. Everybody was Kalonzo, Raila, Weta, Musalia.
How numbers in a political rally have anything to do with votes?
I think let my colleagues listen. I also come from that region. We were in E10 the same day as NASA was in 64. Kenyans are very good. They came in numbers
to listen
to your agenda.
Yes.
Are you getting it?
And they left convinced.
Wait, I mean, whether they were left confused or not, but by the fact that they came to listen to your agenda. As to how many of them decided to follow you, that is not you to answer.
Now that is what will be decided on 9.
Yes, so I want to tell you, we want to encourage this kind of interaction. In fact, we are also going to see that the same reception that was given to the NASA team should be given to the Jubilee team in Kisumu City, should be given in Kakamega and everywhere. This is the type of leadership we want. Kenyans should be mature to that extent. The story we saw of some characters trying to shout in decorative, that should not be there. We should be willing enough to work together, irrespective of our political differences and rivalry, because it will collapse and end on 8th of August this year. And then we go back to our usual business of building this nation. So that is what we want. So that our relationship should not look like some of them are saying now. Lonyangapuo decided to go to Jubilee. We thought he was going to NASA. You see, by being strict and firm in my position doesn't mean that I favor this side or this. I was elected to speak, and fight for my people who are Kenyans. If I feel something is not going right,
you will say it.
You believe right away.
And that is leadership.
Yeah. That is leadership. And on that note, I want us gentlemen to give our closing remarks.
Just before the closing remarks, I just want to invite my friend Mweshimiwa, because we are very good friends, that today NASA is in Meru. If you just came with us, we'll be able to give you a NASA hat, and I can assure you, you'll be elected as the Tharaka Nithi governor.
Meru County is not Tharaka Nithi, however, they are still Merus. And I want to tell you, Meru people are very good. They'll give you the ear, they will listen to you. But wait until the 9th of August, then you'll know the truth. I want to dispel the impression that is being created in the Rift Valley about the revolt. That Baringo County, Pokot, West Pokot, and Bomet, those are just 3 counties in the Rift Valley, with very few in terms of numbers. And I want to respect their position in terms of independence, but that should not be a perception that the whole of Rift Valley is as a rebellion against William Ruto. He still commands 95% of the following in the Rift Valley.
From what statistics?
I've just given you the statistics.
No, from what source?
I've given you the numbers. I've given you the figures. I've given you that we still have Kericho. We still have Wasigisho. We still have Nandi. Of course, and even in those Pokot and Baringo, we still have people there in Jubilee. Those are the numbers you should be looking for.
So we can say majority,
KANU,
not precisely 95.
Majority. The KANU, the legislatures and the candidates, vis-a-vis what we have in the Jubilee. So that what is really causing that perception is the fact that we expect William Ruto to have a solid following in the Rift Valley. But you don't miss a few people who have rebellion against a leader who is rising. It's common in most of these democratic places.
Independence of
opinion.
Thank
because
you.
we are seeing a situation whereby 2022 is obscuring our agenda for 2017 unnecessarily.
Thank you very
We
much.
should forget about it and focus on 2017. Let's handle 2022 when we get there.
Mheshimiwa, your closing remarks.
I want to ask my brother and tell you, just to leave the issues of Rift Valley to us. Bomet is 340,000 voters.
He says Rift Valley is in Kenya.
Wait, yes, I know, but you know, you want to say little. Little is what? 340,000 voters in Bomet, 230,000 in West Pokot,
Split between
240,000 in Baringo County, 170,000 in Elgeyo Marakwet. It doesn't mean that they will get out of what I've just said, will vote for the president. So you better relax and go and work in Tharaka Nithi to make sure that you have man to man, woman to woman, voting for.
Your last comment, Professor.
My last comment, Kenyans, is that we let us stick and stand together. We have a big challenge now of drought in Baringo and insecurity. And we have asked ourselves, the leadership, that we need to offer ourselves as living sacrifices to the extent which is possible. And that's why we now want to divorce parties. When it comes to issues of insecurity, we all come together. And we have been telling our friends, don't go alone without involving all of us. So issues to do with that, we need to march together and support one another. Politics will come and go. I keep repeating, it will come and go. But Kenya stands
The same.
the same. Thank you.
John.
Mine, it's with a heavy heart that I just want to give condolences to the family, friends and people of Nyeri on the loss of their late governor, Derito Gachagua. We are praying for the people of Nyeri during this very trying time. Number two is, of course, what we saw in Nairobi the other day. We're in a political season, and we're just asking, as always, and every Monday we do this, let people be able to go out and campaign peacefully. Let's talk about the issues of what we're going to be able to do for the people. Let's not disrupt people's rallies. Let's not go and kill or use our youth badly. And last but not least, which has been very saddening for us as a nation, is the security situation in Baringo. You know, this TV station Citizen yesterday carried some clips of women and children in churches, in schools, sleeping on the floor because of insecurity. There's even a woman who said that she wants to go to another country because Kenya is too unsafe. I want to remind us that we have a government, and we are urging this government to do whatever it takes and send security forces to Baringo, restore order, and let the Kenyans in Baringo live like other Kenyans.
Thank you.
It's their sole responsibility as a government.
Mheshimiwa Mudomi.
I want to support the position of the government in setting aside an emergency kitty in dealing with the drought situation in this country. Because even as we talk about going to votes and the insecurity in the Rift Valley, in the West Pokot, we have a lot of Kenyans who are starving, and in some places that they're not the conventional traditional places where we expect to have hunger. But because of the change in the weather conditions, we have a serious problem. Even right here in Nairobi, in my county, Tharaka Nithi, we have almost 3/4 of the county being affected by that drought. And we are seeing a situation in the northeastern where people now have to kill the animals. You cannot just live on meat throughout your lives. So it's a good cause. I'm just hoping that it will have proper channeling so that we do not have wastage where it ends up in the pockets of administrators and not get to the people.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Mheshimiwa Mudomi Njuki, Member of Parliament for Chuka Igamba Ng'ombe and aspiring Governor for Tharaka Nithi. Mheshimiwa Jonathan Mweke, Deputy Governor Nairobi, it's always a pleasure. And Mheshimiwa John Lonyangapuo, Senator West Pokot County, aspiring Governor for the same county. My name is Charles Odhiambo. Let's do this again. Remember, as Professor says, politics comes and it will go. But Kenya remains, whether you like it or not.